You're listening to Tavern Sports Radio Network.
Show me the money! Show me the money! Show me the money! Welcome back to the 30th episode of the Show Me the Money podcast, brought to you by Tavern Sports. Let's touch on locks first. We didn't have any locks on episode 29, part 1 or part 2, as we were just going over the March Madness bracket, so the standings haven't changed there. Let's start, before we get into March Madness, let's talk a little NFL, because we didn't do that last week with all the talk about college basketball. Did you guys see that the Bears traded for Keenan Allen? They traded a fourth-round pick, number 110 overall, to the LA Chargers for wide receiver Keenan Allen. Keenan's career stats: 904 receptions for 10,530 yards and 59 touchdowns. Every single one of those stats would be Bears franchise records.
Yeah, I really like the trade. I don't think you're finding a Keenan Allen production in the fourth round. Also, Keenan Allen, traditionally the star in LA, having to come in, and he's really traditionally our second wide receiver, I would still say, behind DJ Moore, just for the fact of what we gave up for DJ Moore. And I think DJ Moore's got fresher legs, a little bit sharper in the agility shed right now than Keenan Allen is. But hopefully that frees up Keenan Allen, and it's going to definitely free up Cole Kmet, because people are going to have to put locks on the outside. So if we can shore up our number 3 receiver spot, slot receiver area, and have Kmet, Swift, Moore, and Allen, it's going to be a pretty fun offense to watch if managed correctly. Which that's the biggest question with the Bears, is will it get managed correctly?
And there's still a ton of wide receivers in the draft that you guys could pick up to even add to that.
Yeah, well, and I think the big thing is Keenan's going to replace the Mooney rule, which that's just an unbelievable upgrade for the Bears. Keenan's considered one of the best slot receivers in the league. He has been for the last, 7, 8, 9 years he's been in the league, something like that.
He's been in the league like 12 years.
Has he? Fuck, okay.
Yeah, I think he's been in there
the league
for a while.
But yeah, Tyler, you mentioned him with DJ, and DJ's like a really tactical route runner. He's going to win a ball. Keenan, now you have a big body out there, so now you just need a burner. And we have Tyler Scott, and he showed that he can be a burner last year, his rookie year. He's just got a little bit of ball tracking issues. Maybe the Bears go with a young receiver to pair with a young quarterback here in the draft, and maybe not. It is important to mention Keenan is 31 years old. He hasn't played a full season in 2 years, and he is in the last year of his deal, and we're paying him like $34 million. Not the end of the world. We have plenty of cap space to soak that up, and I wouldn't rule out a 2-year, 3-year extension to kind of soften that cap hit this year and lock them up for a little longer. I think that's really just going to come down to what they end up doing in the draft if they take a young stud receiver in the first or second round. But I mentioned getting a young receiver to pair with a young quarterback. Tyler, do you want to tell us why that's so important?
So we could obviously go the option at 9 and take a top 10 receiver off the board to match with Caleb Williams. However, I've also seen some talks about giving Caleb Williams a familiar person in one of our late round picks, picking up a USC receiver, just so he kind of has a running mate to come into the locker room, a familiar face, somebody who's caught balls from him before. So there is some familiarity to help both of them out to transition. I'm more so leaning the route of I would like us to either still sign somebody in free agency, which is kind of drying up, or spend some of that money, maybe trade a pick next year to get somebody that is a little bit higher caliber. But I also like, hey, we can get a guy for the cheap out of the draft, and we're not really going to have to need him. He just needs to get open every once in a while and sneak behind the defense to kind of be a friendly face. So I would be okay I would love to see us get a Neighbors or a fucking a Dunze at 9. I don't think it's possible, but maybe. But I also think we have other things to shore up: O line, edge rusher, plenty of other areas that could get that spot. I wouldn't even be against trading back into the first round a little bit and picking up some more capital. I think we only have 5 draft picks this year.
It's down to 4 after the Keenan Allen trade. But with that, I think it's important to remember when our pick comes up. So what would that be? The 41st pick in the second round. If you feel bad about not having a pick, put on Montez Sweat highlights. And when the 110th pick comes up on Saturday and you're sad we don't have a pick there, put on Keenan Allen highlights. I mean, it's not that we don't have draft picks, it's that we have drafted our players there already. It's kind of the mindset that I think people need to use when they look at our lack of draft capital. Tyler, you keep talking about Caleb like he's a sure thing. You haven't really brought up Justin. What's going on there?
So Bears trading Justin Fields to the Steelers for a 6th round pick next year. Not even in the draft where you only have 4 picks right now. In next year's draft, that could be a conditional 4th rounder if he plays more than 51% of the snaps. I don't wish unwell on anybody, but as a Bears fan, Russ Wilson, pull an Aaron Rodgers, and let my boy Justin get them fucking snaps. All right? We need that 4th round pick. A 6th round pick ain't shit. However, I am not happy to see Justin go, but it is understandable. I think the thing most Bears fans are upset about, even if they were against Justin, because there was a lot of, Bears fans against Justin, letting him go for a 6th in the next year's draft is pathetic. The Bears have now been fleeced twice by the Steelers. Once with Chase Claypool giving up the 33rd overall draft pick for him, and now in this, giving up Justin Fields for a 6th round draft pick. I mean, fuck. Did we have to pay him this year, or could we literally have kept him as a mentor backup, weirdly competition? Like, I know that'd be a cancer for the locker room, especially with how many guys like Justin, but I would have rather done that than fucking give him up for a 6th round pick. Like, we literally said, go ahead and give me a bag of chips and a kick in the ass, and you can have Justin. Like, there had to be a better offer out there. Now, I know Justin wanted to go to Pittsburgh. That was one of his requests. But, like, god damn, all his agent could get, all the Bears could get was a 6th for the guy. Like, that's tough to watch and should leave a sour taste in any Bears fan's mouth. We kept the guy for 3 years. He was steadfast. He was strong. He never gave up on the team, led us through a shitty rebuild. And the year that it's like, oh, fuck, the back half of last season, the defense came on, and now we're filling the holes on offense. And we're just like, dude, we literally would pay to get rid of you at this moment. Like, it's a pretty piss poor, mismanaged situation that the Bears front office could have done better, especially with what the moves we've seen polls do in like draft capital situations. We needed to do better by him as a team.
I think it's really frustrating when you see what the Steelers themselves got for Kenny Pickett. And Sam Howell also got traded this offseason to go be a backup. Like, you see what other teams are getting for these backup caliber starters from last year. And then you see that we only got a conditional 6. And I understand the frustration people have with it being next year. But there's been a lot of talk that's kind of surfacing in the Chicago Bears world this week because of this move. Apparently, a lot of organizations view this as a very shallow draft. I wasn't aware of that. I'm not a draft expert by any means, but apparently due to a bunch of COVID years and just an overloading of guys in the college systems right now, a lot of underclassmen that were expected to come out didn't. And by underclassmen, I mean like juniors, first year eligible guys that didn't come out. It really shortened this draft class. A lot of people think day 3 picks are really not worth much this year. So maybe that is a bit of a feather in Poles' cap that he got one next year where this backlog should come out. Maybe I don't know. Time will tell on this trade. I think it's going to be another loser. That and the Steelers are going to have gotten the best of us again. And it's really annoying when you see the reports that there were 5 teams in for Justin Fields, and the Steelers didn't nearly offer the most. But in Poles' pursuit to do right by Justin, they put him somewhere where going into next year, where if the Steelers choose to pick up his option, he would be the only quarterback under contract for the Steelers.
Yeah, I just like we said, it just feels like they didn't get enough and they could have done better. And I mean, I appreciate that they did do right by Justin, but
did you see the report on Justin's contract evaluation?
I saw it was huge or something like that.
6 years, like $258 million or something like that.
For when he signs with the Steelers,
when he signs a new contract, that is what they're projecting.
I mean, with the new cap numbers, I mean, anything's possible. But
and Justin has the best agent in the game, so I don't know. We don't wish any ill will towards Justin. We wish him all the best. But let's. I'm sorry, Clark.
I said I want to see him play this year. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Well, and I hope Justin doesn't become this rebuild quarterback, because it kind of feels like the Steelers are at the beginning of a rebuild. It feels like they might try to be relevant this year, but then after this year, they're going to blow it up. So,
well, I mean, they traded away one of his targets.
Yeah.
He's definitely not going to he's going to a better coached team and a consistent team, but a harder division. And he's going to a harder conference and whole. The AFC is much more difficult road than the NFC.
He's got to see Myles Garrett twice a year now.
He's not. He's got George Pickens and Freiermuth, but besides that, I'm taking Kmet and Moore over Pickens and Freiermuth.
100% of the time.
And that O-line isn't good, by any means.
The Bears was decent, and we brought in a starting center, which was our big weak spot. The Bears are doing a lot this offseason to improve. Just the draft compensation's a little wonky. But let's go into one of our favorite topics on this show, and that's NCAA football. Caden Proctor, Iowa's son, broke our hearts last year around this time when he decommitted from Iowa and moved his commitment to Bama. And then after the season, he entered the transfer portal, said he was coming back home to Iowa, and just announced this week he is taking his bag and going back to Bama.
So about this, I've seen so many tweets about this. I'm not sure what's true or not. I've heard he's getting the bag, and I've also heard that he isn't getting the bag. So what have you guys heard about this?
So the way NIL works is it's not a contract. There's no promise of services in exchange for money. So it's basically the way it works is, hey, we'll pay you this much to come to our school. Okay.
Yeah.
Sign the paper, come to the school. Your legal obligation is fulfilled. So he gets to keep the money.
But how much is it? Is there a report on how much
it is? It's all of it. It's all of the collective, basically.
I was seeing a lot of tweets at Caden Proctor's mom on Twitter today, and it was brutal.
Yeah, she's getting drugged, and that's kind of fucked.
Yeah, because that kid's a fucking loser, bro.
Hey, scammers get scammed.
What a fucking loser! Why would you do that?
I told you guys he was dead to us. I told you guys he was dead to us.
I didn't want him in the first place. I don't want him back. I mean, it's a good pickup, but he wasn't the greatest. I mean, he was one of the most penalized linemen for Alabama last year. So,
did you guys?
I mean, he went in as a true freshman.
At left tackle in the SEC.
Yeah, give the guy a break. He improved tremendously through the year. Tremendously.
He's a good
I don't
player.
care.
He's still
He's a
gonna
fake
be a good
fan.
player. It's not that's not
Yeah.
at question here. But have you guys seen the tweet rolling around about his Iowa stats?
Yes. I loved it.
It was like 2 decommits, a loss in an intramural basketball game, and like something else. But
It's tough to see that happen. I really wish he would have
Yeah.
stayed. And I mean, if you're great, you're great. So it might not impact you down the road. But like as a NFL GM, like make up your fucking mind, kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
are you or are you
It
not?
doesn't look good.
Can you commit to something or can you not? Like a new guy comes in Kalen DeBoer, who was just in the national championship, and you
Well,
leave. You're like,
he
this isn't
portaled before that. He portaled before Nick retired.
gotcha. So he leaves regardless, right? And something wasn't right for him. And then you go to Iowa, you go through, the workouts, whatever.
One practice.
And then you're like, yeah, this offensive running game is bullshit. I'm the fuck out of here. If I see the I formation one more time, I'm hanging myself. Get me in the portal tomorrow. And then you're back on the streets. Like, I don't know. To me, it just seems too wishy-washy. But like I said, if you're great, you're great. I hope he is great because he is an Iowa product. But like, fuck, dude, pick somewhere and settle down. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, that's fair. We want to move into the tourney?
Yeah, March Madness starts tomorrow or today as y'all are listening to this in about probably
right
4 hours if you guys are listening to it as soon as this episode drops. The first game tips off at 11:15 Central Time. Number 9 Michigan State versus number 8 Mississippi State in the West region? Question mark? Yes, in the West region.
Yeah.
Michigan State, the 9 seed, is favored by 1.5. Total is 130.5.
Wow.
Michigan State.
Talk about a battle.
Talk about Michigan State hasn't been great this year, as they haven't lived up to the hype coming in preseason. That's for sure.
So what's your take in this
You asking me or Parker?
Either of you guys. I want to hear your guys' takes here.
All right, give me a second here.
Mississippi State.
Pull
They're
up my
covering
notes.
1.5. I think it's going to be a close game. Michigan State might still win it, but I like Mississippi State here.
I'm also with you on Mississippi State. So good man. Kind of just the classic fade the Big Ten. Also, Michigan State hasn't looked great by any means all season. They haven't looked good coming in. I think they're way overseeded. They lost to James Madison, who's a 12 seed. I think it's a little too much Izzo hype. I think it's a little too much Michigan State hype. Yes, they've been in the tournament for 26 consecutive years or whatever it is now.
Yeah,
but like
that. Good for them.
Yeah, like these guys know how to dance, and I know Izzo has this crazy record in the first round, but like Mississippi State is a rock fight team. They want to just stand there and miss shots with you, out rebound you. Like there's a chance Mississippi State gets blown out, but I could also see Mississippi State dog fucking them. Like, did we not just see what Mississippi State did to Tennessee? Come on, guys. That wasn't that long ago. Like, Michigan State gets ran out of the gym in that game. So give me Mississippi State. Izzo's dead. He needs to retire with the rest of the greats. Just saying.
I wholeheartedly disagree with you.
I'm going to agree with you with that, Josh, as well.
Mississippi State is so fucking streaky. Here's their last 10, furthest back to most recent. Win, 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 loss, 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 win, win, loss. If they're going to streak, they're going to streak a loss here. I mean, that's just point blank period. These two teams are extremely similar. I mean, separated by 1.5 in scoring and separated by about 4 points, 3.5 in defense. Michigan's a little behind on the offensive side, but they're ahead on the defensive side. They have a larger point spread throughout the year, and it's the Izzo effect. Tyler, you said you don't believe in the Izzo effect. I do. I love the Izzo effect, so I'm gonna ride it. Parker, back me up.
I'm gonna agree with that. Not only does that Izzo effect work, but it works on that defense, and that's what it's gonna come down to. Michigan State, you're talking about Big Ten defense, man. We're gonna get rough, and they're gonna just play bully ball. That's gonna be a tough game. Now, Mississippi State does have more bench points coming off, but if they're not, they got to come out shooting if they're gonna want to win that game. Otherwise, Michigan State's gonna control the pace of the game and slow it down.
I'd bet on a Big Ten first round exit.
That is a good bet. Let's move to our next one. And before we talk about this, something we forgot to talk about during our bracket show is we are all gonna pick a Cinderella, and kind of the look at that is like preferably 11 or higher seed, but if you take a 10, you take a 10 to at least make it to the Sweet 16. And basically, once we get to that team that you want to take as your Cinderella, just go ahead and say it and kind of proclaim your Cinderella. That being said, Duquesne is not going to be my Cinderella. Number 11 Duquesne versus BYU. It's a 11:40 Central tip. It is who's got the line?
Which game is this again? Sorry.
It's a 9.5 point spread in favor of BYU. Total 142.5.
Okay.
It feels like a lot of points here, and this is coming from somebody who has BYU. I definitely like BYU in my bracket. I think we all do. I will be taking BYU in a couple bets, probably going to tease them down, but I kind of like Duquesne on the number in a coach said he's retiring game. Duquesne's hot. BYU not as much.
First tourney appearance in 47 years for Duquesne.
Yeah, I mean, I think the number might be a little too much, and I mean, I might get embarrassed for saying that, but I think give me Duquesne on the number and BYU on the money line for sure.
And I'm right there with you on that, Tyler. 9.5 does feel like a lot. This BYU squad has a very good defense. It does, but Duquesne's is better. I mean, I don't see this being a rat race to the finish to see who can put up 105 points first to win. I think this is going to be the winner has maybe 72, maybe, and like that's on a high side, which is also leading me to the under 142.5 on this game.
The under. Okay.
Yeah, I had two top 100 defenses.
142.5.
Yeah, 142.5.
I don't mind the
BYU,
under.
I say under top 100 because BYU's 97, but they play a higher caliber of teams than this Duquesne squad does day in and day out. So I think their yearly average of a set of 70 points per game, I think that could definitely come down to maybe a 65 against a Duquesne squad that's not used to playing
I agree.
Big 12 opponents.
And you both said you guys liked
We
Duquesne spread.
We like the Dukes on the spread, BYU on the money line. And I think it's important to mention that because this has kind of become a social media darling for an upset.
Yeah, I've seen so much Duquesne talk on Twitter, on Instagram Reels. I've seen I think 4 or 5 brackets having them to the Sweet 16, and I'm like, it could be tasty for the money, but I think I'm still gonna go Duquesne spread, but BYU money line too.
Go on, Parker.
I like your guys' take on Duquesne to cover the spread and BYU on the money line. I think everything you guys said is money, pretty much. So like, it's up to you guys whether you want to play a cover or if you want to just go for glory and just rock a big parlay and put them in your money line. But I'm taking BYU.
Well, and if you wanted to sprinkle Duquesne at plus 365, I mean, I'm not going to look at you like weird, but the odds are a little low for me to do that personally. But let's keep it rolling. We do have 32 games to talk about.
Yes.
14 Akron versus number 3 Creighton. This is a 12:30 tip-off in Central. Creighton favored by 13.5, total 140.5. Clark, what are your thoughts here?
14.5 points.
Or 13.5.
Or 13.5 points?
I may have misspoke.
Feels.
I apologize.
No, you're good. No, you wrote down 13.5. That feels like a lot of points. Even for an Akron team. But
it does until you look at Akron's last 10. They're 2-7-1 ATS last 10, and Creighton's 7-3. I did see some statistic. I tried to find it again where 2 and 3 seeds favored by so many points that didn't win their conference tournament don't cover at such and such a rate. I can't remember it off the top of my head.
yeah, I'm just looking at some stats here. Like Creighton does not turn the ball over whatsoever. They're at 362 out of what 364 teams in D1.
Who's this?
This is Creighton's defense.
Creighton.
They're just barely top 100 on the defensive side. Or no. They're 24 on the defensive side, but they don't force a lot of turnovers.
At KenPom adjusted? What are you looking at?
I'm looking at the turnover percentage for Creighton's defense right now.
Gotcha. Okay.
But with that, I don't know. I kind of like the Zips to cover here.
Parker, what's your thoughts?
Give me the Blue Jays. Oh, I love this Creighton
Money
team.
line?
Oh, yeah. I would take.
Yeah, minus 1,100. Yeah.
Yeah, minus 1,100. Yeah. Crazy. But
no, he's saying on the spread, I assume.
Yeah. I would
think
it's March Madness, so like anything over like 10 points would be crazy to bet on just because of the what's the word I'm looking for? The big how big the tournament is, like just that pressure alone, like everyone's going to be playing hard and competing, they're always going to be closer games. Yes, there's blowouts in the first round by those bigger schools, but like you don't really see that here when you get inside the bracket and these closer matchups. And this Akron team is a good team, so like they're gonna be competitive. They're a tournament team. They've been there before.
Well, and if you haven't finished your bracket yet, statistics say a 3C will lose to a 14. Personally, this isn't the one I would take. I'm personally not taking any, just because. Good luck trying to guess.
Yeah.
13.5 is big enough to where I don't want to touch this. It did open at 12.5, according to the site that I'm looking at. It's just hard. Akron's got I don't have the kid's name offhand, but they got a really good center and a really good guard.
Exactly. I mean,
they can mess around.
And guard play is big in this tournament. Like if you have good guard play, you could go far.
Akron is averaging like 23 points off the bench too compared to Creighton. So like they got players on the bench that can score too. So if they need to run and throw in more players, they can.
Yeah, and Akron's two big guys, Enrique Freeman is the center. He averages 18.6 points per game and 13 rebounds. The kid is a walking double-double. To go along with 1.5 steals and 1.7 steals and 1.7 blocks per game. The kid is just a fucking bucket. And then his running mate at the point, Ali, he's so nice. You got to say it twice. He's averaging 15.5 points a game.
Oh my gosh.
The thing that's gonna kill these Zips is they can't hit the 3 ball. They shoot it at a 32.3% clip, which is 260th in the nation. That's I think bad. The big thing you need when you're one of these lower seeds that's trying to upset you have to hit the 3 and you have to defend. And I just don't think they have that.
I don't think so. But saying that, I still think they cover.
Yeah, I'm personally, I'm not touching.
That's fair.
Personally, I'm not touching it.
I'm taking bets no matter what. I don't care what the spread is. I'll pick a side this week.
Fair enough. Let's go to another big one. The number 15 Long Beach State versus number 2 Arizona. This is a 1 p.m. Central Time tip. And Zona is favored by 19.5, total 163.5. Wow, that's a lot of points.
Wow. I've taken Arizona to cover here. Arizona's been really good. They lost to Oregon in their Pac-12 conference tournament, but coming into that, they were really good. They had a bunch of quality wins. 19.5, you said?
19.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Arizona 19.5 covering that spread against Long Beach.
I think I'm going to be with you on that. This Long Beach squad is just really
Yeah.
bad.
They're 210 rank. They're 210th in the nation on defense and 147th on offense. Like they can't run with Arizona at all.
No.
But no, just Caleb Love is gonna just eat up Long Beach. It's
Yeah,
gonna
for
be
sure.
a blowout. It's gonna be
Like I said, no defense will be played in this basketball game. Love the over 163.5 here.
That's gross.
Yeah, gotta make picks.
Parker. Did you make a pick there?
Yeah, I like Arizona. Oh, I didn't.
Spread?
Spread's fucking huge.
But like betting the money line, you bet a buck to
Yeah.
win 50 cents.
Exactly.
If
Their
that.
game is that exactly. Their games are irrelevant.
Hey, toss
Yeah.
it in a parlay and try and get like a 10-teamer in there.
No, this
I mean, you
this
could
number
toss it in
is this number is simply too big. I'm with Parker. There's just no
Yeah.
value in taking this at all.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
maybe
a
if you're
bunch of
somewhere where you
haters.
can get player props and bet some player props, or
Caleb Love over
if you're
everything.
in the do like a fucking 20-point teaser, I mean, you can drop them in.
Well, if you guys don't want to talk about a 19.5 point spread, how about we go and talk about a 24.5 point
Yeah,
spread?
North Carolina, right?
UNC and Wagner. It's a 240 or a 145 central tip. 24.5, total 133.5. Cole, what do you got on your Tar Heels here, man?
Dude, it's Tar Heels by a fucking million, bro. Are you kidding me? A 1 against a 16? Get fucked.
I know, man. They're both 5-5 last 10 ATS.
What's
Who
the
gives a
line at?
fuck?
24.5, according to what I'm looking at right now. Yeah,
It's
24.5.
24.5?
It opened at 25.5, quickly went down to 22.5, and then settled at 24.5.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not touching it. I think I like over because I think UNC could go for 120 on their own.
What side of the bracket is this? The West?
It's the
This
West.
is no, it's not
Or
the West. It's the
South.
South.
What the hell?
At 20,
24.5.
24.5. Huh.
This is the West,
Give me-
actually.
Give me Wagner, baby. UNC ain't covering 24.5. That's so many points.
crazy. That's so
I-
crazy.
I think UNC will probably win by 20. Maybe,
That's
but not
so
24.
crazy.
But Long Beach doesn't. You know what I mean?
My thing is
That's
like,
Arizona.
how do you not pull?
That's true.
How do you not pull you two studs at halftime when you're up 18?
Because Wagner's got 25 points off the bench coming in hot, man.
Yeah, but like, why risk rolling an ankle? God forbid.
To
Like
win
you
the
have
game.
you have a legit shot at making a run here. Don't risk it. You're up 20. Pull your guys.
And I like the spread here for Wagner. I don't think UNC is gonna beat him by 24. I think they
Get
easily
shit on.
could, but they're gonna pull people. They're gonna pull people in the third or in the late in the second half, maybe early.
They'll pull
second half.
Baycott. They'll pull Baycott. That's about
For
it.
sure.
Well, what about the guard? Baycott and guard. I figured they'd pull both of them.
Nah.
RJ Davis.
Yeah, Davis.
RJ will play at least deep into the second.
I don't know. I like the spread here. I think Wagner.
He
can
likes
cover.
being on the court. Their backup point guard fucking sucks.
Fair enough. Dude, I don't know. I don't watch UNC
PT?
basketball like that.
Ty.
Honestly, what's the fun in betting on 24.5? In my opinion, if you're on the Wagner side, right? the whole first half of this game doesn't matter because, like, they could be losing by 40 at half and claw their way back in it when UNC plays the fucking water boy. Or if you're on the other side, why are you as UNC hoping the fucking backups don't come in and get out rebounded and give up some bullshit? I've had my fair share of sweats at this high of a number. Gun to my head, give me Wagner.
I agree, just because it's too many fucking points.
Dude,
It's
it's
a lot of
fucking
points.
tournament.
It's so many points.
This is March, motherfucker. Hop on the train or get the fuck off.
Yeah, motherfucker. It is March, which means Wagner's going to win the fucking game because it's madness.
That's wild.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Well, you want
I'm
to play?
on
You
it.
want to play the It's
I'll
March
sit-
game, Cole? Get off my
Dude,
cock.
somebody fucking better send that to freezing cold takes.
This episode of Show Me the Money is brought to you by Tavern Sports, your place to get fun sports content, sportsbook lines and parlays, and of course food reviews with Big E's Ballpark Bites. You can follow Tavern Sports on Instagram at Tavern Sports 2023, TikTok at Tavern.Sports, and Twitter at Tavern Sports 23.
Let's go to Tyler's favorite team in the tournament. 14 Morehead State versus number 3 Illinois. 210 tip. This is Illinois only favored by 11.5 here, actually. Total 147.5. Again, this is another one of those 14-3 matchups. Statistics say there should be exactly one upset. Probably not this one, but maybe. Tyler,
Definitely not this
what
one.
do you think about Morehead?
Morehead.
Ain't gonna be this one.
Morehead, I actually like to cover the number here. Illinois, also not safe since COVID. Okay, since COVID, there have been 3 first-round upsets, including teams centered around PP jokes. Oral Roberts,
Yep. The Peacocks.
Farley Dickinson, and St. Peter's Peacocks. So that means one of 2 teams is winning this week.
One of 3. 3.
Morehead State, Longwood.
And the Cocks are back, baby.
Oh, fucking see? The balloons went off. The balloons went off. Morehead State or Longwood is winning this game. So
See,
why not Morehead State?
So I did a deep dive on the Morehead, or not the Morehead, on Longwood Houston matchup because of I saw this same TikTok. Funnily
I
enough,
don't have
think
TikTok. I did not pull that statistic from TikTok. I don't have one.
funnily enough, I think Longwood is
This
the
is true.
least likely team to be able to upset Houston, based on the metrics of the 16 seeds that have upset 1 seeds. I think they're the least likely. I think if Houston would have drew any other 16, they could actually be in trouble.
That's a crazy fucking take. But
You think
all right.
anything that's against what you think's a crazy take. So
Well, yeah, I've been fucking drinking, so it works out.
Tyler, I'm
Give
with
this
you.
man some
I
card
do think Morehead could cover this 11.5.
That's my reasoning why is Morehead State shooting behind the arc.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take Illinois spread.
I don't hate it. I mean, Illinois could win this by 20. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
What's our next one here? Next one by tip-off. Oregon and South Carolina, a favorite. Oregon, a favorite as an 11 seed upset here.
Only 1.5 point spread.
1.5. It's a 3:00 tip.
I think that line is disgusting. I hate 1.5 point spreads.
Total 133.5 too.
Over.
Where are you going, Josh?
Dude, it's so hard. Like, everyone's on the Ducks here. Everyone is on the Ducks. The Cox are just a better team out of a better conference that isn't dying this year. I mean,
Give me the
their-
Gamecocks
their
covering the
defense
spread.
Is so much better against better competition. I'm gonna stick with my Cox, man. Give me the Cox.
I'm taking the Cox spread too.
I haven't been a fan of the Cox all year to get off of it now, so I'll stay with it.
Joshy?
What's up, buddy?
I'm gonna hop on that cock with you.
I didn't hop on a cock. You're hopping on a cock. Um, no, but at one
Would
and a
you?
half,
Would
I
you?
mean, like,
Did
I've been
you?
backing.
Did you want me to say? Do you want me to ride the cock with you?
You can ride a cock if you want to ride a cock, but
This is getting very gay very quick.
but I haven't been a South Carolina backer all year to back out now and like abandon them. So
Yeah. No.
You're not wrong.
I like South Carolina. Like you said, they've been playing good defense. They've been playing better when they play better opponents. I think Oregon's going to give them a good matchup, and I think that's going to make them play tougher.
yeah, and I think a lot of the upset talk is Oregon's just a darling right now for the run they went on in the Pac-12
And-
tournament.
Yeah, they knocked off Arizona in the Pac-12. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're a team.
they definitely have momentum. They really do. I mean, no lying about it.
I like Oregon here. I think they're live for sure.
Of course you do. You have your Oregon hat. So
Give me the Ducks, baby. Quack quack.
Cole, do you have any drunken thoughts?
Horny.
No, dude, it's fucking Oregon by a million.
All right, let's go
They're a better
into
overall team, and the SEC kind of sucks at basketball.
Hot take.
wild take there.
They can have football. Fuck it.
All right, let's go to a lower seed that's actually favored here. Number 10 Nevada versus number 7 Dayton. Nevada, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Nevada.
Nevada. Actually favored by 1.5 here, being the lower seed, total 136.5. Tyler, Dayton's kind of been your squad. You've given us a lot of information on them throughout the year. What do you think?
Dayton's coming in too slow. Like they're dipped right now. The stock's not up into the right. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and take Nevada here. I have Nevada in my brackets. I think Nevada's probably the most popular 7-10 upset besides maybe Drake. Well, yeah, it makes sense because the other two are playing games, but I still think Nevada here is live. I mean, I know there's the whole Mountain West slander shit. They were terrible in the tournament. Then San Diego State went on their run last year. A lot of people say they're not good out of conference. I just don't think Dayton's coming in with the right momentum here. So I think Nevada pulls this one out and unfortunately loses to Arizona, but in a close one. I think Nevada plays Arizona close after this round. So that's my thoughts on it. What's the number?
We'll talk
at?
a little bit about that on Friday. The number is 1.5.
Yeah, I think Nevada wins and covers, but I won't put my money on the line with 1.5.
Money line's 120. Might as well
Yeah,
take the money
just
line.
give me the money line. It's not worth the extra 5 cents to take them on the spread.
Yep. And I mean, both these teams are pretty good defenses, but I kind of like the over here. Call me crazy.
What's it at again?
136.5. Both these teams, I mean, Dayton
Oh.
doesn't play amazing teams, but Nevada in the Mountain West, I mean, they've played pretty good teams, or at least half the year, and they're scoring at a 76 point a night clip.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I like the over with you there. And
Is
I don't
there
know. I think
anyone taking Dayton here on the spread?
part of me wants to, but this
Yeah.
game's
Feel a
so
little different.
close. This game's so close, I think. But I'll take money line with Nevada.
Yeah, I like Nevada as well. I mean, I also like that over too. That over is pretty nice. They both average around 76, 75 points a game. So this should be, hopefully, if it's a good game and they both are hitting their shots, it should be a high scoring game.
Yeah.
Give me
well,
Nevada though to win.
let's go from one Mountain West team to another. Colorado State playing Texas in a 10-7 matchup. Texas favored by 2.5, total 144.5. Tyler, where are you at on this one?
Oh, God. This is a game I'm like truly unsure about, so I'm gonna blissfully sit back on the fence and see if one of you guys can sway me. I really need that right now.
Hordes down is all I have to say. Colorado State, baby, whether it's spread, money line, I don't care. I like them.
Worth mentioning, Colorado State is coming off a win in the play-in, and there's some crazy streak of at least one play-in team making it to the round of 32. Could be Colorado State, but they played a stinker against Virginia the other night.
Virginia. Yeah. Like, was that yesterday or was that earlier today? I don't remember.
It was yesterday or 2 days ago as everyone's listening to this on Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's kind of
But
how
no.
I feel about this game is that Colorado State came out fucking hot.
Well, I was talking to the guys in the pre-call about how much that game against Virginia last night really turned me off of Colorado State just because Virginia looked so bad and they couldn't just bury them by like 40 points.
I mean, their defense and their style of play, them being Virginia, is not going to allow that to happen. Their defense is too good no matter how bad their offense is, and they take so much time of possession away like that. I didn't ever think that was going to be in play, but they did light their asses up pretty good. So
gut feeling tells me horns down just because I'm not a Texas guy, but I don't have a strong feeling here either way. I'm sorry, Parker, I cut you off there.
No, you're good. I was gonna say, yeah, you guys are right. This Colorado State team's pretty hot, but I'm gonna go against y'all. I'm going horns up. Texas is they're an okay team. They're pretty wishy-washy in their division this year, but I mean, they're still a good team. They had a good team last year. Got some things to figure out, but I mean, no better time to catch wind in the tournament, right?
Yeah. Well, and they did put it on fellow tournament team Texas Tech like really bad last month. So you never know. Tyler, have we swayed you one way or another? I know it's been a lot of indecisive on a lot of sides here, but
I'm going to go with Colorado State strictly because of the whole play-in game stat. And the fact that this line's only 2.5 lets me know that Vegas is thinking that Colorado State is better than what the casual fan might give them credit for. I actually have Colorado State picked in my bracket. So give me Colorado State here because I think either one of them goes on to lose to Tennessee.
Well, and worth mentioning, Colorado State hasn't been sitting for a week. I mean, that could be a factor.
I think that it could for sure.
Any other thoughts on this one before we move on?
Not a thought on this game, but the fact that I just had to put Florida into a Final Four for Chris Hill makes me want to vomit.
You leave our father alone. Let's go to the next one. The first game being played out of the South region of the bracket. Number 14, Oakland versus number 3, Kentucky. Kentucky favored by 13.5. Total 162.5. And this is a 7-10 central tip.
13.5 points. That's too many. Isn't Oklahoma very
Oakland.
Oakland. Yeah, sorry. They're in the NIT. Isn't Oakland's offense like really good or something like that?
I got 75 on my screen is what it's showing. 75.
Or are they like really fast? I feel like they're a really fast team. Pace or something. I remember hearing something.
That would be on Tyler. Tyler's got pace numbers for you.
Who's that?
Oakland's pace of play.
Oakland is a faster pace team.
Which
they are
should push you to
they're kind of buried in my stat pile right now, but yes, they're a faster pace team.
Which should push you to the over of this game because everyone knows Kentucky plays exactly zero defense, literal none. So I mean, maybe this is the 3 seed that gets upset here. Who knows? I don't think it will be, but as we've been harping on, statistics say one of them will lose. And Oakland's quick. and they got fucking dead eyes from outside, and it's good guard play. That's the thing. Good guard play, high pace of play, sinks the three ball. That's what we say is important for an upset in March.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I like Oakland to cover here.
Love Oakland to cover here.
Yeah, I think it's just strictly based off of pace of play, though. Like I don't think they're good. They could win the game, but I wouldn't put my money on it. But I
If
like them to
Kentucky
cover.
goes cold, man, and
They
Oakland's
catch wind.
hot, look the fuck out.
But no,
Parker, you
I
got any
like-
thoughts here, buddy?
Give me Kentucky. I mean,
On the
there's no
spread,
what is it? 11, right?
13.5.
13 and a half.
Yeah, give me Kentucky. Kentucky's gonna catch wind here. They're just a tournament team. Calipari's gonna have them rallied for this tournament, and they're gonna just come out and do some damage. I haven't really watched much Oakland basketball, but I
haven't
don't
watched a
think
single
they're
game.
I don't think they're gonna be the team that hangs in there with Kentucky.
They're a blue blood, bro.
It don't matter.
Hey, dude, I got them going to my fucking Final Four, if not the championship game. This is a good Kentucky team.
Yeah,
have them in
it really
Statistical
took them.
trends say that Kentucky won't make it out of the first weekend. I don't
Okay.
agree with that. I don't agree with
Statistics
that.
can suck my fucking cock. Give me Kentucky spread. Fuck them.
What is
They're
our cock
a
count
whole-
in this episode? It's
They're
gotta
a
be
whole
high.
different team from the,
There's a lot of
than the
cock.
beginning of the year.
I
mean,
do agree with that.
I think Kentucky's a great team, but I don't think they can cover this one.
Tyler, Kentucky 13.5. Are they covering? Gut check.
Yes,
You think they're
Thank you.
covering? Okay.
I do. I think in this instance, Oakland is going to look around, see their stupid fucking mascot that has like Bieber hair still, and go,
Isn't that Charleston? I thought that was Charleston.
oh, it is Charleston. You're right. My bad. Sorry to the Golden Grizzly of Oakland. Allie Boyer has Oakland going deep in this one. Just want to put that out there.
Oh,
So,
boy.
Oh yeah, she has them to the Elite Eight. Kentucky's fucked.
yeah, so just saying there is that jinx in play. But I think the guys from Oakland are going to look around and go, yeah, we play at Oakland and these guys play at Kentucky for a fucking reason. And this one's just going to get out of hand. So that's my like real quick thought on this one. And Kentucky rolls.
All right. Any final thoughts there?
I think we covered it.
All right. So let's go to the next one. And this is our first official Cinderella pick of the episode. McNeese State is my Cinderella on 12 versus number 5 Gonzaga. The line's 6.5, total 149.5. Interesting note, over the last 24 hours, this line has moved up a point from 5.5. And I don't give a fuck. I'm taking McNeese on the money line. I don't care because McNeese is a fucking wagon. Will Wade is that dude. He should be a Big Six coach, and he's not because of violations or infractions or some shit. They had to serve a suspension at the beginning of the year. Since then, they've lost one game. This team is out of their mind good.
They are my best statistical team in this tournament.
Same.
Like their ranking is the highest.
Same. I have.
But that also has to go after looking at who have they played.
Earlier in the season, they played pretty good teams. I thought. In their non.
Yeah,
I thought
they
their
played a
non-conference
school
was
for
good.
women. They played a school for women and a men's basketball team.
Hey, that school for women has had a men's basketball team since the 80s.
Fair.
Well, it's a whatever. Give a shit.
No, I mean,
I think they're good.
you're not going to get me off McNeese. I already claimed them as my Cinderella. I'm pretty sure I have them in the Elite Eight in our money bracket, and I'm not joking about that, and I'm not changing it. So
Yeah, I have them in one of my brackets going to the fucking Final Four.
there you go.
See,
Is anybody going to knock me and Cole off our McNeese pony?
I don't think I'll knock you off of it, but I'll hop on the other side of the pony and oppose you guys because this Gonzaga team
Frauds.
has been knocked out.
They play in
before
a
the Sweet
fraud
16.
fucking conference. They didn't even win it. They
McNissy
went
State doesn't even
0-2
play
against the
in
only
a
other
conference.
worthy team in
They're
their
not even in
fucking
a power.
conference. Dude, they have
Gonzaga?
Will Wade. Will Wade's the fucking cheat code here.
Will Wade sounds
I'm
way too
I'm
white.
with Clark on this one. And
Gonzaga is a team.
However, I do think the winner of this game
Makes
does
a
go to
run.
the Elite Eight. I think the winner
I'm
of this game goes to the Elite Eight in the Midwest.
Yep, because I have Gonzaga making it to the Elite Eight.
Midwest
I'll
by
tell you
far
that right
the
now.
weakest region, right?
If Purdue was ever going to do it, this is their year to do it.
Parker, you're the only one we haven't heard
I-
from here. Where are you at?
Give me McNeese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clark, we'll wake up and we'll see who's got the better bracket, I guess.
Yeah,
you know?
we're
Either-
gonna zag
either-
off.
my bracket's either kind of fucked here in this game. It sounds like everybody's this one game decides
See,
a
makes or
lot of
breaks.
future points.
See, my thing is everyone's so high on this McNeese team. It's not gonna happen.
McNeese?
Everyone's gonna bet on McNeese, and Vegas is gonna call in, and then me and Tyler are gonna reel in the money.
You ain't wrong. Yeah, you guys are not wrong.
I feel that way too, Clark. Like it is probably the most popular 12-5
That and Duquesne.
upset.
This team in Duquesne, I've heard so much about.
I think they're the most popular 12-5 upset. I mean, Grand Canyon, I think, is up there.
Grand Canyon's a pretty popular
Definitely
one.
up there.
I
Definitely
think
up there.
Grand Canyon and JMU are up there, but I still think McNeese is higher, strictly for the fact that people are like, Gonzaga's never done the damn thing. They're not going to start now with a lesser squad.
Yeah, they don't have Drew. They don't have Chet.
But we got to remember, coming in on a 10-1 streak, flying under the radar without the spotlight on them all year long this year, I think it could be better for them. They've actually been able to like focus on what they're doing and not the limelight, the spotlight. Will Gonzaga finally do it? I think it's for the best for them.
A decent men's high school basketball team could compete and go 10-1 in the West Coast Conference. That's all I have to say.
That's wild.
All right,
All right.
next one. We're going to start with Clark here because we're going to go to his Cyclones, the number 2 Iowa State Cyclones playing number 15 South Dakota State in Omaha. This is a 6:35 Central tip. Iowa State favored by 15.5, total 134.5.
Okay. I think I'm gonna take. We're starting with me, bud.
Oh, no.
We're starting with the fan.
South Dakota State, baby.
You gonna take?
I
that,
think we wanna. I think Iowa State's gonna cover here. Our defense is number 1 in the country statistically, and I don't think the 133rd best offense in the country is really gonna do much.
Yeah. I get you. I get you there. That's just a lot of points. I mean, yeah, granted, Iowa State did just blow out Houston.
29.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
we
we get
should.
a lot of.
You guys should. I mean, you guys are good defensively, so you get a lot of rebounds.
And
so I mean,
we get a lot of turnovers. We turn the ball over on defense a ton.
yeah.
So I just see us really dominating on all aspects of this game, to be honest.
You guys should handle business.
Yeah, I like the under here. 15.5. That's just so many points. I don't even want to have to think about it personally.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think the thing with March Madness, right? We always know there's upsets. And we always know that there's a game that's a sweat that shouldn't be a sweat in these higher seeds where maybe you get that alert at the 8-minute mark, like, oh, is Iowa State on upset alert or whatever? And then the ballers ball and they do come out and handle business and they end up winning or covering or whatever. So my general advice is if you can get sharp on these tighter games, go ahead and do that. If you're going to pick these bigger games, I mean, you could throw them into a massive parlay or a heavy teaser. But honestly, if you really have a strong feeling about one, I would say just take it straight up so it doesn't ruin a good parlay or a good teaser. So if you're on Iowa State minus 15.5, I actually think the best bet to do is just place it solo by itself, lay your 1.1 units to win a unit, and just move on with it. That's my
Yeah,
opinion.
that's completely fair.
All right, let's go on to 15 St. Peter's, versus number 2 Tennessee. 21.5 point spread. Where'd the line go?
Tennessee
129,
by
129 and a half total. I like the over. I'm not touching the points. Too many points.
yeah, Tennessee by 1,000,000. This shouldn't be a game.
Is the white guy still roaming around?
No,
Is
Dougie
No.
Buckets is out of college. That was 3 years
Yeah.
ago.
But is he on this team as like an assistant
No.
or like
No.
Texas has Matthew McConaughey as the Minister of Culture. Can we get fucking Dougie Buckets back? He
Get the
plays
stash.
for Bryant?
He's
Yeah.
at Bryant still. I thought he was
Yeah,
done.
I think so.
Yeah.
No, he
Well,
transferred.
Dougie Buckets needs to hit the transfer portal tonight and get into that game tomorrow. Because they're gonna fucking need him in this one.
We have a sweat in the 16 seed play-in game tied with 16 seconds left.
Yeah, and don't
me
you
too.
dare fucking ruin it because I've got money on Montana State. So I am watching it live right now. Don't fucking ruin it.
Well,
But speaking back to Tennessee, what was the spread again? Y'all said
21 and a half. It's just too
21 and a
many. I'm
half.
not touching it.
Give me Tennessee covering, baby. That just like seems like a little bit of fun to watch, and I want to put some money on it. Maybe $5. See what happens.
I think
I love
Tennessee's
the over of 130 or 129 and a half.
Tennessee's in the best spot here. Josh, you better hope a lot of that 130 comes from Tennessee. I think
100%.
I think
80, 90 of it's Tennessee.
I think the only reason or the only way Tennessee covers this is because they have I'm pissed off and I don't like that we just lost by a shit kicking to Mississippi State. And yes, Josh, I just watched. Why did the fucking Michelin tire man have the ball in the paint to win the game here, bro? This dude's dribble is fucking terrible. That was the worst post move I've seen in a very long time.
The ref fucking sold, dude. He let 3.5 seconds go off the clock before he took the timeout.
Good.
But
I need overtime here now.
Parker, Tyler, do you guys have any more thoughts on this massive spread?
No.
That's fair. I also want to give a cool little stat talking about Grambling State right now. They're about to possibly make it into the tournament, and they played Iowa State this year early on, and we beat them 92-37. Just so you guys know, they possibly could. Grambling State.
Cares.
Damn. I'm just letting you know that team is somehow made it to the Sweet 16 or made it to the tournament. That's
anyway,
crazy.
number
That's
11
crazy.
NC State versus number 6 Texas Tech. This is a sexy upset pick. A lot of people like this NC State Wolfpack. Looks like a 4.5 point spread, 145.5 point total.
NC
I'm going to take the
State.
dogs here. I'm going to take this Wolfpack plus 4.5. I think they're hot. I could look like a stooge, like a fool at the end of it. But I don't think I will. They're hot. And you got to take the hot hand in March.
4.5. Give me Texas Tech.
Fair.
We're going to
NC State,
overtime, boys. We're going to overtime.
NC State did look really good in their conference tournament, and it could translate to the big tournament, but I'm going to bank on that not happening and Texas Tech taking care of business.
So with this game, I agree with everybody else. NC State is the sexy pick. They're the fun pick. There's the stats that say the team that had to go on the miracle run to get into the tournament doesn't do well here. But I don't know. There's something about them. They got the moxie right now. I think the boys get up for one.
I think exactly one. I think that as well.
Texas Tech is a good squad here, but I don't know. Maybe this team is the Cinderella. Maybe NC State is the team, but they burned it up. They were 100-1 to win the ACC tournament, and they did it. So a lot of mojo, a lot of juice, a lot of swagger in the building. I bet these dudes are walking around like they're 4 foot wide, just fucking, ooh, baby. So go out and win one here and show you didn't do it all for nothing. And then who would they play in the second round?
Kentucky. Either
Kentucky.
team's getting beat by Kentucky.
Yeah. Go get your dick kicked in by Kentucky, but don't lose to Texas Tech here.
Parker, where you at?
I took NC State. I'm going to be the sweet, sexy, macho man walking through the locker room with them when they win. You know? I like them. I think they're going to get up, like you guys said, 4-1 game.
Okay.
4-1 game.
Let's get – sorry.
No, you're good.
Let's get into what may be the most interesting 13-4 matchup we've ever had in a tournament. 13 Samford versus number 4 Kentucky. This is a 8:55 tip in Central Time Zone.
Kansas.
6.5 point spread. Yeah. Total 153.5. This line has moved from 7.5, mainly because it was announced that Kevin McCullough Jr. will not play in the tournament at all. Not just this round, the entire thing. That's Kansas' leading scorer and second leading rebounder. He shoots 80% from the floor. They've played 6 games this year without him. They're 3-3 in those 6, including a 20 and a 29-point loss.
I think for this one with Kansas against Samford, it could get muddy. Samford can run. I think Kansas wins this one in a close one and then loses to either McNeese or Gonzaga.
Yep. Same boat.
Everyone open your ears. Samford money line, 245.
Josh.
That's it. It's only plus 245.
Yep.
Josh, I'm gonna back you up there, and I'm gonna slap it. I'm gonna slap down Samford there on the money line. I like Samford here. Look for an upset.
They're 245 on the money line. I bet you honestly you could take the points down and get a better line than that.
But I am gonna agree with Tyler and Clark, and they're gonna get beat by McNeese in the next round.
Yeah, winner of this I think loses next round no matter what. But
yeah.
Samford has emerged as a kind of a little bit of a sleeper wagon here. So
yeah, I think there's gonna be
split.
I think there's gonna be too many people on Samford though. So
yeah,
I think the money's.
I think the other thing is like their center. He's not going to be 100%. He dislocated his shoulder 2 weeks ago, and I talked to somebody that I know that is a doctor or almost a doctor, whatever you want to say, and they said that it's typically 6 weeks before you're even close to ready to go, and the risk for a redislocation is quite high. So Dickerson could just have his shoulder ripped out of its socket again. And then now you don't have your 2 best players. Also, you're playing at altitude, and Bill Self only plays a 7-man rotation. Now you're down to 6 at altitude. Get fucked. No shot.
We shall see.
Yeah, I think the boys, though, with Bill Self, like you said, they're using all of this as motivation. Everybody's counting you out. You're going to be the team that loses to the Cinderella. Yada, yada, yada. And the boys get up and find a way to win one here, and it might be ugly and it might be gross, but they pull it out.
Yeah. They've played much better teams in their Big 12 conference play and still won games without their studs. What's Samford going to do? They're not going to.
I think coaching here is the big factor. Like
Bill Self is one of the greatest.
He's going to be able to find a way to get the boys up for this one and get them in this game. So
let's get to our final Thursday night game. I feel like this is going to be one of your guys' Cinderellas. Drake versus number 10 Drake versus number 7 Washington State. It's a 9:05 tip Central Time. That's also the real tip-off time for this game. Drake favored by 1.5 here, total 138.5.
Drake. Yeah, go ahead and give me Drake like I think everybody else on this podcast will be taking. I think a lot of people in the country are taking it. It's a home court advantage for them. It's got to be Drake here. I mean, so many people are on Drake. This line opened at Drake plus 1.5, and it is now flipped to Drake being the favorite. I think Drake handles business here and sets up a great in-state showdown between Drake and Iowa State in the round of 32.
They need to
That-
flex
I-
that.
I-
They need to flex that game to Carver or something, bro.
It's not big enough.
It's just one game. I think it'd be fine. But I'm on Drake. I think it's safe to say
Yeah.
we're all on Drake.
Yeah.
Let's
Ooh.
see. So I guess we're on to Friday.
On to Friday?
Yeah. First one, 12 or 11:15 tip Central Time. Number 9 Northwestern versus number 8 FAU. FAU's 2.5-point favorites. Total 141.5. This is definitely a coin flip 8-9.
Hear me out here.
Here
A lot of people are going to take FAU because of their run last year. Not the same team as last year. I mean, a lot of the guys are there, yes, but not the same team as last year. I think they used all their moxie last year. FAU last year picked up more wins in that one tournament than Northwestern has in program history. So give me Northwestern here in a just nasty, gritty game that Boo Booey is going to have to take over. His name sounds like a cocktail I'd have on the beach. I like him. Give me the Wildcats.
See, I'm against you. I think Boo Booey's going to have to stand on his absolute fucking head to win and cover this game. So I'm taking FAU minus 2.5. I don't think it matters. I think UConn buzzsaws either one of these fucking teams next round, but
UConn
the
is
Stetson Hatters.
yeah.
FAU is not the team like they were last year. Like Ty said, they're a decent team at best. Maybe this year they've been in games, but they haven't really like been dominant like they were during their last tournament run. I like Northwestern. Give me Northwestern.
Am I solo flying with the Owls, or Clark, are you with me?
I ain't with you. I'm sorry, brother. I gotta go.
All right,
with
me and Allie
Northwestern.
versus the world then.
Actually, I believe the Allie Boyer pick here is Northwestern as well.
The Wildcats over the
Surprised
Owls.
she didn't take an owl here. Surprised she didn't take an owl here.
Wow,
Last year
I
she did.
really
Last year she was
am
on-
riding solo.
She rode them last year.
Jesus.
Last year she was on the Owls. This year the Wildcats snuck it out. Might have been because we went to the zoo the day before. Might have been. Could have been.
So I'm
No
getting
owls
fucked
at the
because
zoo.
of your guys' little date.
But
Well, you don't like birds.
so you're
Wildcats-
influencing the picks.
Yeah.
No,
This
no,
is not
no, no.
fair.
Tampering.
I said owls or Wildcats. She said Wildcats. I said, really?
Head in the
She said,
game.
she
She
said,
said, get your head in the game.
yeah. I was like, damn. All right. So
She said Troy Bolton, who?
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
Facts.
Let's get to the next one now. Let's start flying. 14 Colgate versus number 3 Baylor. 13.5-point spread, total 139.5.
All you have to know. Baylor. Cover.
Colgate's
This
defense
is a team.
is stifling. I like the under here.
This Baylor team, I think, could make a run. Could. Keyword. They might just flop and die in the second round. But I like this Baylor team. I think they could take a make a run.
Baylor, I like Baylor. Baylor's scariest game to me is not Arizona. It's New Mexico in the second round.
Yep. And they're
But
going to
if
lose it.
Baylor gets out of there, I think Baylor could handle UNC or Bama coming out of the top side of the West region. I really like
Mhm.
Baylor here.
Yeah, I like Baylor as well.
This
Give me
again,
the
too many points for me to pick the spread, but like I did say, I love the under. Both decent to good defensive teams here. I think a not so sexy 12-5 upset here. UAB number 12 versus number 5 South Dakota or San Diego State. Sorry. It's a 12:45 tip, 7.5-point spread in favor of San Diego. Total 138.5.
I'm taking San Diego to cover here. They've got a good defense, an all right offense. They're top 100. And you got UAB. They just don't look good,
Yeah,
honestly.
I'm with you there. UAB had to go on a little bit of a run to even get in. I mean, really, that whole conference needed to go on a run to get in.
Yeah.
San Diego State, they're just coming out of what I personally think is one of the best conferences in basketball this year. Tyler put us on to the Mountain West, so all the credit to Tyler on that. Yeah, and the Aztecs are just a pretty good team in March.
Yeah.
I would agree with you guys on that statement. UAB did look rocky in their last game. So
I'd ask Tyler for
Yeah,
his
'cause
input, but I
who-
know he's sweating right now.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
Bobcats team giving up a huge lead, just bricks a three with 40 seconds left,
Yeah.
down 4.
The Bobcats are absolutely melting.
They did
No
melt
foul?
here.
No foul. Wow. Do you have a thought on UAB San Diego State, Tyler? Sorry, I don't want to keep you too long.
I think San Diego State wins this one. To be honest, this year, like, do I see the sexy 5-12 upsets? Are they everywhere? The most heavy ones, McNeese. When most people zig, I zag. I kind of hate the 12 seeds this year. And I know that does not bode well for my bracket, but
Well, we didn't have any 12-5 upsets last year, so
I know, which is why all the 12 seeds will probably win this year. But I don't know, man. I can't pick UAB after looking at what San Diego State did last year. UAB, I think, will be up for this game, and they'll be like super hype and juiced to be there. And San Diego State will drag them into the mud like they do every year, and that's their style of play, to try to eke one out. So
we are being told that UAB is the most heavily bet team in the tournament right now. So Vegas would like them to lose as well. So probably going to go against UAB there.
Fair enough. What's our next one?
Honestly, it's one of the kind of the favorites for a 15-2 upset. Western Kentucky versus Marquette. 14.5 point spread, total 157.5. I love the over here because Western Kentucky just runs people out of gyms. Like, they have the highest tempo in the nation. And if I like the over, I kind of like Western Kentucky to cover the 14.5. I know I don't usually pick spreads that are this big, but I will.
I think it's just too big. I think it's too big.
And you're a big Marquette guy too, Tyler.
Yeah, I do like Marquette. And I don't know. I see the pace. I see how Western Kentucky could be an issue, but I think Marquette handles business. But again, the spreads too much.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Tyler. The spread's way too big for this game. I mean, Marquette's good, but we haven't really seen them blow anybody out. I don't think, if I'm correct. I probably might be wrong on a few games.
I mean, yeah, in conference play, but like
not in tournament.
Well, if you guys think 14.5 is too big for Marquette, what do you think about 26.5 for UConn? The number 16 Stetson Hatters versus number 1 UConn. 145 tip. Like I said, it's a 26.5 point spread, 145.5 total. Tyler, you're a Hatters guy. What do you think?
We talked about it with UNC. We said it's too many points, and I said, give me Wagner in that one. I'll take UConn here, like gun to my head, but I will not have a ticket on this.
Fair. I'm not touching anything. I'm not touching the total, not touching the spread.
If I had to put money on a team that was going to blow a team out by 20 points,
it'd be UConn.
It'd be UConn in this game right here and no other game. This
UConn
should be
is
the only
Marquette
team,
by 10.
but like 26 is a lot. But like, if it was 20 points, I'd say, yeah, get it. But like,
yeah, it's just not worth sprinkling anything on it. Like,
yeah, it's not worth the sweat. The 26 points isn't worth the sweat. But I think one line that will be worth the sweat is America's 11 seed, New Mexico versus number 6 seed Clemson. This is a 210 tip. The Lobos actually favored by 2.5 points here, total 151.5.
Yeah, I think we were talking about this in the last podcast where New Mexico was the lower seed and they were the better team statistically. Like
Higher ranked on Ken Palm.
Better offense, better defensive numbers.
I mean,
Is anybody not going New Mexico here? 2.5?
I think we're all taking the Lobos here.
Yeah.
Go
I have the
Lobos,
Lobos
baby.
going on a run, dude. Like, if I wouldn't have taken McNeese as my Cinderella, they'd be my Cinderella. So
I would have never heard of this team unless Tyler told me to watch the game at freaking what was it, 11:45 at night. Stayed
Yeah,
up till
baby.
1 something. That was a great
baby.
game. I loved every second of it.
I just want you guys to know now, though, because this feels like the right time to say it. Have bet on every first 4 games so far and have been wrong. 0 for 3. So
you're
if
due.
This
You're due.
This is how the tournament started. Fade me completely.
Was that
Well,
Rick
Tyler,
Ross on the
why
sideline?
don't you tell us who to fade in 13 Yale versus 4 Auburn? 12.5 point spread for Auburn, total 140.5. A lot of talk about this being the 13-4 upset, boys.
No, Auburn dog fucks people. However, it does suck that this game is in Spokane, Washington. So it is a fucking far travel for the boys. It's not in the jungle anymore, but Auburn is going to win this game. If any team, in my opinion, is preventing UConn from coming out of the East, it's Auburn.
It is this team. It is
Auburn,
this team.
Auburn's my national championship in our bracket, to tell you guys
Auburn,
the truth.
I want Auburn to beat UConn so badly. That would just be so much fun for this tournament.
Yeah,
but you guys think they're going to cover this
beats
12.5?
UConn, Auburn's going to be dangerous and will probably be if Auburn beats UConn, watch
They win
Auburn
the tournament.
skyrocket
100%.
to the favorite to win the tournament. If not, the second favorite. So
I'd much rather have my Cyclones run into Auburn in the Final Four or in the Elite Eight than anything.
yeah,
But you guys think Auburn's going to cover the 12.5 though?
I do.
Yeah.
I think Auburn is just going to
I do.
out
And I love the
physical
under here.
them, outshoot them.
Okay, that's fair. I love the under here. Both good defensive teams. 140.5 is a lot, especially in a game with Auburn in it. So let's go to the 9-8 Texas A&M versus the Cornhuskers. 1.5 point spread in favor of the Cornhuskers. Total 146.5. I'm on Nebraska here. I don't like it, but they're statistically the better team. I think they come out of the better conference. Well, maybe not. I forgot A&M's in the SEC.
I'll be honest, I haven't watched any Nebraska games this year, but all I see on Twitter is this little Asian kid.
Steph Curry,
Just
baby.
Yeah.
hitting
General, so
threes.
many threes.
Dude, I can't
getting
wait to watch
really
this kid in the
racist.
tournament. He's going to be the next Doug Eddard, honestly.
Yeah.
I hope he makes a run.
Yeah, give me Nebraska. I'm on the Asian Steph Curry hype train
Who's
right
Nebraska
now.
got round 2 if they win this? Would it be Houston?
Yeah.
Okay, Nebraska all the fucking way, dude. Get so many threes out there and fucking dog walk Houston, man. Fuck
Get
Houston,
so many threes out there.
honestly.
General, so many threes could light it up. However, I will be taking Texas A&M in my brackets. You will not catch me holding a ticket on this game. This is probably the game in the tournament where I'm like, what the fuck is going to happen here? So I'm so put
That's
into
gonna be a
wonder
good
by
one.
this game. It's not even funny.
It's a 5:50 tip in the Central Time Zone on Friday. We'll probably be podcasting during it too, so we'll be able to watch it together, boys. Anyhow, let's get to Tyler's favorite catamounts. 13 Virginia, 4 Duke. Duke 12.5 point favorites, total 132.5.
I think the same thing here as I mentioned earlier, where Colgate was going to wonder what the fuck they were doing against Baylor. I think could happen here with Vermont. This isn't the Vermont team we've seen in the future. Like, yes, they got another tough draw. They are a good team. They can shoot. if any 13 seed is going to get the upset, as much as I hate to say it, because I really like Duke in my bracket this year, I could see Vermont being that team if they can come out and the bucket is just 6 foot wide and these guys are draining everything. They're going to have to be lights out.
And Duke is cold. It's worth mentioning, like, cold teams going into the tournament don't do super well.
Another stat I'm seeing here is Vermont. They turn the ball over on defense. They get stops, but they also take good care of the ball. So if they get a little run there where they can get a few stops in a row and get some points off of it, I could see them getting an upset here. But I still have to take Duke.
Parker?
I'm taking Duke, but I do hear the hype and I do see the hype on Vermont, so I can kind of see where Tyler's going with this. But personally, I just think Duke's a better team. I mean, it's Duke.
I'm with you guys. I like Duke here. I'm not going to touch the total. It's a little low. 5 more, boys. Let's stay strong here. The last 13-4 matchup, Charleston versus Alabama, 9.5 point spread, 173.5 total. This is a lot of people's favorite for that 13-4 upset.
Breaking news, Joe Biden in his official bracket picked Charleston.
No way.
Just saying. Joe Biden has Charleston winning this game. So, you know what? Maybe he knows something we don't.
I don't think Joe knows much of anything, but I
No,
like Alabama by 9.5 here.
Yeah, I like Alabama here too.
I think the over is in play, honestly.
I want to see this Alabama GCU game. I think that could be electric.
Here's my thing with this region in the West with St. Mary's, Bama, Grand Canyon, Charleston. A lot of people first when the bracket came out said, ooh, Grand Canyon, ooh, Charleston, potential. You never know. Charleston and Alabama are much the same. They do light up the scoreboards and are a liability on defense. Bama that defense is going to bite them at some point. However, I do think they win this game. I think they win in the second round as well and make it to the Sweet 16. But their defense is going to be the biggest issue. These guys need to slap the floor for a couple games and learn to play defense in March, because otherwise they're going to have another quick exit. St. Mary's, much like San Diego State, is a slow it down, grind it out type of team, and that's what beat Bama last year. So if St. Mary's gets there, they could also cause trouble for this Bama team in a different way than Charleston. Charleston is going to run the floor with them. St. Mary's is going to say, slow this shit down. So I think Bama has a weaker draw, but it could be difficult for them. But give me them with the points in this first game.
They're all on Bama here then.
Yeah, we're all on Bama.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to the last 16-1 then. Longwood and Houston. Houston's favored by 23.5. Too many points for me personally. I'm not going to touch it. Totals 127.5. Feels like the sports books are getting very, very greedy a lot, like they did towards the end of the season with Iowa. And Houston having the number 1 defense isn't going to scare me off of taking the over here. That's just so few points. Longwood's defense isn't the greatest. They come out of a bad conference. Houston's going to put up 80 on them. So,
yeah, I think the obvious pick here is Houston. But that spread, I don't like it. It's too much. So, but Houston's going to win this game.
That spread is very high for Houston, especially since they are a weaker 1 seed.
This is a game
people would say. But
this is a game where I'm going to definitely try and see what props we can get for players. But
I'm not going to touch this game. I'm not going to put it on the screen. I mean,
Houston could win the game by 65 points, or they could get beat by 6.
Longwood could possibly not even score 30 points in this game. Realistically.
Yeah.
I'm taking the over on it. 127.5 is just too low, a little greedy.
Yeah, I think Houston could score that whole.
I think I'm banking on Houston getting 80 of it, so I need 50 out of Longwood. Tyler, do you want to give us anything there before we go to James Madison?
Just the old penis pun thing. One of these teams is going to get bit by one of these teams. Morehead State, Longwood, St. Peter's. Somebody's going down. Don't let it be you, Houston.
Let's get to number 12, James Madison. Number 5, Wisconsin. 5.5 point spread in favor of Wisconsin. Total 145.5. I like James Madison, and I have Wisconsin moving on in my bracket, but I like James Madison. They're one of the best record teams, at least, or they are the best record team in NCAA this year for a reason.
We talked about it in the last show. Strength of schedule is just too weak. I think Wisconsin is going to just be on them like white on rice defensively and try to win this game. But if they let JMU run, JMU is going to run them right out of this tournament. Like, it could get ugly for Wisconsin fast, or I think Wisconsin wins a tight one.
See, the stat that I'm seeing here. Ooh, Parker?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead, Clark.
The stat, yeah. So I know Wisconsin has a good defense, but they don't defend the three very well. And this JMU team shoots the three pretty dang well, actually. So that could be a big factor into this game, but I'm still going to take Wisconsin.
Hey, Tyler, out of curiosity, who do you have in Colorado Boise State game that's about to tip off so I know who's going to lose so I can finish my bracket?
Placed a live bet on Colorado during this show. I texted the bookie to place Colorado. If I go 0-4, I will be tweeting out fade me picks. So I hope we get one because otherwise I'm going to be bankrupt by the end of March.
Okay. Well, I like Wisconsin. I don't know if I said that already. Actually, 67% of the money here is on James Madison.
Which is crazy to me. Like, yeah, I get Big Ten loses first round, but Wisconsin's usually they're a pretty good team most of the time. They knocked off Purdue.
I think I just changed up live. I think I said James Madison, and now I'm saying Wisconsin.
Oh, well.
This brings me to my Cinderella team of the tournament, James Madison.
I'm glad somebody else is using it because you two fucking forgot about it.
I thought that's where Cole was going with his. I really did. And then when he didn't take it, I'm like, oh shit, yes, sweet, it's still there. I'm like, I'm gonna lock in fucking James Madison as my Cinderella. They are hot, boys. They are statistically one of the best scoring offenses right now. I mean, even their bench is coming off scoring 38 points a game. They are just gonna run Wisconsin out of this gym. Their big men aren't going to be able to keep up with the pace of this game. So give me JMU as my Cinderella. Lock them in. Money line, spread, whatever this game. But I'm on JMU.
I think we all forget Wisconsin got hot in the Big Ten tournament, and they played Illinois real tight. They actually did start shooting the three ball a little better. What does scare me, like you guys said, James Madison can shoot the three and they don't defend it too well. So I don't know. I think whatever team wins here loses to Duke. So go ahead and give me Wisconsin in the hopes of trying to be different than everybody else and sneak an extra point in my bracket. But this is going to be a tough game for sure. But since you're asking, Josh, and I don't have them officially picked in my bracket, but if I'm going to take a Cinderella, it's going to be the Lobos of New Mexico. I think if they get
I'm surprised
none of you locked or took the Lobos as your Cinderella.
I also forgot to say what my Cinderella run was going to be, but I'll bring it back to the Texas-Colorado State game, and I will take Colorado State as my Cinderella team.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty, boys. So we got 2 more games here, so let's get through them. We've been on a marathon today. TCU number 9 versus number 8 Utah State. TCU favored by 4.5. Total 150.5. These teams are very similar, which doesn't make me super excited to take either one of these. On the spread, I would love to take TCU money line. It's
Yep.
minus 176, giving up a little value there, but I'd rather not sweat it. I think this may be a 3-point buzzer beater game.
Give me
Yeah.
TCU here. Not much explanation behind it. Down goes the Big West in this scenario. Or the Mountain
Yeah.
West, not the Big West, sorry.
Yep, I'm right there with you. I'll take the team that had a better schedule during conference play. So give me TCU.
Riding with the Horned Frogs, boys. I'm with TCU as well.
All right, squad.
They're going to
ride,
get up for
boys.
this game.
Allie's also riding the frogs.
Fuck yeah.
She's getting horny.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Last one. 12-5, Grand Canyon, one of the favorite upset votes on the old TikToks. Versus number 5, St. Mary's. St. Mary's favored by 5.5. Total 131.5. That total feels low to me. And
You said
like
131 and a half?
131.5. Yeah. I mean, I know St. Mary's has really good defense, but it's pretty hard to not have good defense when you only have to play 2 real games a year.
It's not even St. Mary's defense, Josh, that's the case here. It's their pace. Their pace is so slow that it's just the amount of possessions. I don't think either team is effective enough offensively to hit the over in this game.
But
due
Grand
to the
Canyon's
amount,
pace isn't their pace out of like really high?
Who?
I would
Grand
disagree.
Canyon.
I think
I thought
Grand
GCU
Canyon
had a really high pace.
Grand Canyon can score, T.
I know,
Grand
but
Canyon
St. Mary's defense is out of this world. Like, that's what this team is built on, is defense. And what I said earlier about them potentially giving Bama headaches if they get there, in our free bracket, the Tavern Sports bracket, I actually have St. Mary's making a little bit of a run. It's kind of fun. I know they're the fucking 5 seed, but they're kind of a Cinderella for me in the sense that they got to get through Bama and a very popular upset pick in Grand Canyon. But I think they just rely on their defense here to get through this one and weather the storm, slow the pace way down, and figure it out. That's one man's opinion on it. 15th best defense efficiency per Ken Palm.
Well,
I'm going to take Grand Canyon plus 5.5 here personally, since no one's made a pick yet. I'll be the first.
I'm on the other side of you. St. Mary's.
Yeah, you couldn't tell he was picking St. Mary's from that rant?
Well, he didn't make it clear.
Parker,
I'm
I'll
pretty
let
sure
you
he
pick.
said it. I'm on Grand Canyon.
Okay.
You gonna split the squad?
I am gonna split the squad. I talked differently on the other podcast, talking about how GCU would win this game, but I'm gonna go with the slow pace and the defense here. I think it's just gonna be too much for.
He got you, baby. He got you. His sweet lips got you.
Allie is on the antelopes. Just letting you all know.
Love to hear that. That is it for March Madness. We have a couple more things on our rundown here. We're going to clean up really quick and then get out of here. I know this has been a long one, guys. Sorry about it. There's 32 games to talk about, NFL news. There's some MLB news here to talk about too. We mentioned it a couple times. Be sure to check back here with us on Saturday morning. We're going to be giving out our picks for the second round as well. Hopefully that won't be quicker because it's just it'll be half the games. So,
hey there, sports fans. Are you tired of the same old boring shirts? Well, we've got something exciting for you. Introducing the Tavern Sports Pocket Tee, where style meets passion for the game. Whether you're a diehard fan or just like the environment, Tavern Sports has got you covered, literally. The best part, because you're listening to Show Me the Money, you can use the code $$ to get 15% off today. So what are you waiting for? Head over to tavern-sports.square.site right now and elevate your game day experience. Tavern Sports. Beer, betting, sports.
All right, Clark, lead us in. What's your lock of the week this week, pal? Who's your for sure winning round one and covering?
Well, I kind of have a different prop here. I don't have a.
No, we're going lines. Come on. You can't
Why?
get props in every state because you can't get props in every state.
Well, it's not a prop. It's an over on points.
Oh,
team.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna take the over on South Dakota State's points at 59.5 at minus 102
I like that.
against
That's a
the
hot
Clones.
pick. Nice pick. Parker, where are you going for your lock of the week this week?
Give me JMU to cover.
What's that line at? 5.5?
Yes.
JMU
what,
5.5 for Parker.
What's it like? What, minus 110 or something?
It's the line. It definitely clears the rules.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. It's plus 5.5 at minus 115 for those keeping track at home.
When it comes to my lock, I'm going to go to 12-5 game. I'm going to take James Madison plus 5.5, which I think has the best odds of you winning money in this tournament.
Okay.
That's the Wisconsin game, right?
Yes. And Cole, before
Okay.
you leave us, will you give us your Cinderella as well, please?
My Cinderella. Oh shit. I would say my Cinderella is probably honestly McNeese.
Okay. We can share
because
it.
I could easily
Cinderella's
see
got
them.
got two slippers, so
What I have them going in like our money bracket. I have them going to the Final Four to play Kentucky to eventually lose to Kentucky. Because if you look at their road, I mean, it's the only team that they really have to beat. Fucking Kansas is they're hurt as fuck. Purdue is a bunch of frauds, and then Creighton doesn't play well on the East. So I see a clear path for them. Honestly,
Sure.
they're dangerous.
all right. Cole, have a safe night. Have fun, buddy.
Hey,
Peace out.
everybody.
I will be taking us with Nevada money line. And that is going to be, as of right now, minus 120. Give me Nevada money line against State. Josh, what are you doing for your lock?
Give me Drake money line. I don't know what the line is, but it's a 1.5 point spread, so it definitely is good. Probably 135. I'm asking for clarity.
What time's their game? 9 o'clock, right? They're
yeah,
minus 118.
it's late.
Minus 118.
Okay,
And
yeah. So give me
then
them on
Cole-
the money line.
All right. Well, we gave you our picks for round one. You might want to fade me if you want to see the money yourself. We'll get back to you on that on Saturday morning, guys. Thanks for listening. Check us out Saturday morning. Check us out before every round of the tournament. We will be giving our picks right here on Tavern Sports. Show me the money.
The money.
Show me the money!